Now we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots deep.
So the first thing I always like to do is just go and grab a hay net after I've given Hector some cuddles and everything, and basically just give him a hay net because I liked him to have eaten something before he gets ridden, so that all the acid isn't like munching about in his stomach, and he's had a bit of food. It just helps. It's been proven. Obviously, it doesn't do anything dramatically to them if they haven't eaten, but it's just nice to give them a bit of food, a bit of energy. And then I just grab his feed buckets and tip that out, and grab his water bucket. I use the water that is left over to clean out his feed bucket, as that reduces the amount of water I use. Here Hector was just having a little bit of an evening scratch, which was kind of cute. Before I went off and unhooked his rug, and then just gave him a bit of a groom, because today my sister was riding whilst I did all the jobs. So normally if I was riding, either my sister or mum would do the jobs for me, and if it's quite a quiet day, so normally on a Wednesday when my bus gets me home really early, then I could do everything all to myself. But just look at that cute face. How could you resist? He's so adorable. But I just started by tidying him all up, giving him a bit of a brush. But as you can see, he has recently been clipped. I'll leave that video at the end of this one if it's already up. So he doesn't actually get muddy, because he's got a full rug on with a neck and everything, which is really, really helpful, especially for the cold and dark nights. Then I just pick out all his feet, and as you can tell, my sister was kind of getting in the way and being very annoying, but you know, she did start helping by undoing his rug, and then I just took it off and put it on his rug rail, just to keep it all clean and off the floor and everything. And then we just started by tacking him up. So the first thing we did was put on his numner, which is actually the corn blue one from Lemieux, and then his half pad, which we've got two. This is the blue one, which is from John Whittaker, which I'm actually selling. So if you're interested in buying that, then just comment down below or DM me via Instagram. Then we put on his saddle, which is actually a close contact jumping saddle from John Whittaker also, and it's absolutely lovely and so comfy. So yeah, but I do want to try and get a dressage saddle, and I am currently trying to look for a sponsor for that, because I really do want to improve my dressage. And then we just put on his bridle, so he is in a grackle.
So his bridle is from the brand Gallop, which I find is like the only brand that actually has a fluffy bit. Like they all seem to be really dead when you buy them, but this one's so fluffy, and especially when we're jumping, it looks so cute with his breastplate, which is all fluffy as well. But he used to be ridden in a grackle, and he goes so nicely in it, and he does sometimes cross over his jaw, so the grackle just helps prevent that. While Jasmine's doing something or other, not helping, I just finish off by changing over the stirrup lengths, because obviously we need different stirrup lengths because we have different length legs, and doing up the girth. I only put it on the first hole when we're in the stable, and then especially during winter when we walk up to the arena, we do it up then, so that he has like a bit of time to finish chewing and everything, and then it'll go up easier basically. And then we just put on his bridle. So I normally take away his hay net when we do this, just so he doesn't have the temptation of wanting to eat his hay, and it's just easier, and then he doesn't get like tempted or anything, and then he's more well behaved, although he's a very well behaved pony anyway. So then Jasmine just faffs around with doing up his bridle, which, just look how cute he is, he's so adorable. But you can tell that Jasmine doesn't have the same matchiness effect that I do. As you can tell, she just wears any colour with any saddle pad, which kind of irritates me. But then they go off to ride, and I start by making Hector's feeds up. So the first thing I do is just soak the digest conditioning cubes that Spillers have kindly gifted to me. So I'm just trying them out at the moment, and they seem to be working really well with Hector, but I'd love to see a long-term difference, so I'll get back to you guys on that. And then I just put in some water. I put in lots more water than recommended, because then one, they've all expanded in the bucket, so they won't expand in his stomach, and then I also need water to like expand his feed. And then I just muck out. Today he was actually quite dirty. This is probably quite clean for some horses, but that was Hector's dirty side. But then I quickly did that and then sorted out his hay nets and filled them up. As you can tell, it's very difficult to do this one-handed. Yeah, that's tricky. I should have brought my tripod up to film this, but I tried to do it one-handed. I gradually got there, and then I went up to see Jasmine ride Hector. So after Jasmine has ridden, I then come back a bit earlier and start to make up the hay nets. So I just used up the rest of the bale to make some of them, and then I had to open a new one, and then I just stacked them all on top. I also sometimes take away these black buckets and then sweep around behind them because it does get a bit dirty under there. And then I just put a clean hay net or a filled hay net up in his stable. I then finished doing his feeds because, as you can see, the digest conditioning cubes have emulsified, and I don't know if that, like, they've increased in size. So then I just start by getting everything out of my bucket because he has a really simple feed. So he just has some carrots that are cut up in both feeds. And then he just has some of this feed, which is from Denji, which is the Happy Hoof molasses free, because he just doesn't need any extra sugar from the molasses, and this just works perfectly. Then I just used my Head to Hoof Equine Synergy supplement, which you can use my code EMMYH2H for 20% off, or Emmy 10% off big tub for 10% off the bigger, more economical tub. Then I just mix it all together, which again is also very difficult to do one-handed. And then I just finish off by clearing everything up by putting his head collar back on the hanger, as it's sometimes left on the floor from when he comes in, but that is fine because then it has time to dry. And then I just finish off by sweeping up. So the feed area can kind of get a bit messy sometimes just from where everyone does their hay nets and everything. So I like to just sweep up and keep it all nice and clean, and then just put it in a bucket to then take to the muck heap. Then when Hector is all cooled off and we've waited a while, then I just give him his feed. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please leave a big thumbs up. Also smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye!